let's get to it. What around town today? Lord. Sema Lord of mercy. What's the single worst financial decision you have ever made? Last night I'd have told you none. No regrets, only lessons with money, because money is something you can't get too attached to, because sometimes the risks are high, but the payoffs are also higher. But it's a gamble all the time. I mean, you can go and sign a contract for employment and you never see a shilling to your name. And you can have a contract where someone tells you this contract is your own understanding. So money is something I try not to... I can't say there's one single thing that stood out until I had a conversation with a work friend. And I'll tell you my story. What's the single worst financial decision you have ever made? I got a car in 2007 to have it as part of the taxi business. Business was booming then, and this was before the apps, the taxi service apps, the international ones. I don't have to name them here. Hey, and let me tell you, this was such a bad thing for me because I didn't have any background in the business. It was just, you know how Kenyans like to Me Too. Our Me Tooism, we take it very serious. Do you remember when we had that fad for quails? Everybody was keeping quail for the quail eggs and the quail meat. So it was one of those things where I just happened to sit through a conversation. My friend Mimo, at the time where I was working for another media house, still on radio. And so now Mimo is being told by her friend Dolphin. My friend Mimo is talking to her friend Dolphin how she's doing so well, the car hire and taxi business. Hey, Yolanda, I think I just heard the part that she's doing well. I didn't ask about the challenges and whatnot. Yolanda is like, say less. Man, let me tell you something. How did I go take a loan and buy a car? And how was that car stolen? Before I even finished paying for the loan. And even just running a taxi business. If you don't know, back in the day, you had to buy, they call it Shimo. You see the way you go to CBD and you have like Kenyatta Avenue, there's a taxi bay. There's cartels who would run those taxi bays or taxi spots. And you'd have to buy in. Yeah, yes. You had to buy lazima ungenunua Shimo, to be allowed to park there. And not the authorities, just wenye jiji. Just, Kenya is so complicated sometimes that there's people who you have to pay a fee for you to get the right tune and not the council. I'm not talking about the council. I'm not talking about, but just people who you must pay or your car will not stand there in that particular drop-off pickup point, if you want to call it that. So I didn't bear that in mind. I didn't know about it until the fact. Now the car is here. Now I'm looking for a driver. And apparently the driver was supposed to be running the car and then paying himself and depositing a certain amount of cash in your account. I never got any money in my account. Only problems. And then at some point, my car disappeared. Now there's cops involved. And now there's hot, bloody mess. Awful enough to have me in financial issues for the next couple of years. Yeah, because imagine you're paying for an asset and you don't have the asset. I had totally forgotten about it. It was back in the day, but... man, what a lesson. So my lesson was, do not invest in a business that you don't have any, 1A, interest in, 2, information, proper, sufficient information. Sit down with someone, have them show you their books. Kenyans just, the other day, my friends were crowdfunding to set up a laundromat. A laundromat, yes, a laundromat. So nice, like serious, not playing. I have very serious friends, and everyone was chipping in. A loose mic, and I had said before I even think about it, I don't have that kind of money lying around anywhere. But before, I would like to know why a laundromat. And the person who had come forward with this conversation is like, heck, she's a banker. There's people who have laundromats in this town. They are banking proper color every week. Me, I was like, pengine wanafanya money laundering. Get it? Money laundering. Okay, that was my joke at the time. It was funny then. But yeah, how the laundromat is turning out, I have to speak to them to find out. But where usisikie watu wanaeka kwero, sijui watu wanaeka python, sijui they are nyonyeng. You know, poison from it, sijui it is used as a cure, sijui in which part of Asia. First of all, do your proper research. Due diligence will do you very, very good, especially if it's not just cash, it's a loan. You understand that you have to service. So that is my horror story. And I didn't even think about it until I spoke to my friend Doris. What's your story? I've told you mine. What's the single worst financial decision you have ever made? Ever? Yani, you think about it and you want to smack yourself square in the face. Session continues, and today is one of those days where we're talking about things that would rather not, but it's good to, because you learn even from other people's stories. What's the single most financial decision? What's the single worst financial decision you have ever made? And I'll read a message from Peter Kinyanjui, and then we can listen to some audio from you. Peter Kinyanjui says, I have a friend who was conned 800,000 shillings. Whoa. Through a certain scheme which has promised a return on investment of 200% on money one could invest with them. Where? Hey, hata nimesweat kidogo. 800,000. Okay, but can I tell you something? When it's too good to be true, imagine it's just that. It's too good to be true. And I know it's just entertainment, but it's good sometimes there's subliminal messaging in the even programming. I don't know if you remember a series called Hustle. The one thing they always insisted, Mickey would say, the protagonist in the series that would air on the BBC, you can't con an honest man. Think about it. You can't con an honest man. A con preys on your greed, on your get rich quick urge, and your short-cutting whims, because there's people who like to, cut corners, take shortcuts. Yeah, and that's what they sniff and they prey on. So, hey, Polly, to your friend, 800,000 is a lot of money. Are you sure? All those zeros are right? Pole to your friend. I hope they learned something, because every single thing has a lesson attached to it. Let's hear more from you, and then the jams continue on Marion and Bawa with Girlfriend, and so much more.
Foreign car, where it was a long shot. Initially it was a good investment, but in the long run turned out to be so expensive. I didn't have peace in this Nairobi. DCI gave me a run for my life, regardless of the papers and all that. I always, whenever I saw a Subaru, I have to be my antennas are up, like they're just up. But yeah, it turned out to be very expensive in the long run, so I don't wish to do that again. I don't wish to.
Okay, I think one of the most regrettable financial decision was when I withdrew my savings and put them under a purported investment scheme, and then after a week or less than a week, zikakunywa maji. So that's it.
As a gifter, it's buying someone a gift and they didn't deserve it. But later I thought they didn't deserve it. Yes, so I wasted my money.
Buying a machine, a computer worth 70,000, which was monies I didn't have. Yeah.
Niliwahi kununua simu ya lipa mdogo na nikinunua hiyo simu aliyeniuzia alisema ati ni simu nzuri. Sasa nikaanza kutumia nikilipa, lakini sasa nilipiga hesabu siku nyingine nikapata hiyo simu ni kama 28,000, lakini nilikwenda kupiga hesabu baada ya kulipa nikapata ni kama nimenunua na 40 something thousand. Sasa na regret.